Why are you ringing the bell, Jason?
Because we have somebody special on the podcast today, and she is a Dudette. Guess who it is?
Who is it? Who's the Dudette?
Instagram golf queen Dudette of the dance. LPGA's Tisha Alyn Abrea.
Dance.
Eat it up.
Buckle up. It's the Insurance Dudes Podcast.
Who messed it up? Did I mess it up?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's working good.
There we go.
What a start. Oh my gosh. I think we're clear. Wow.
We'll use all that for the bumper.
I need a towel.
That was good.
Pat myself down. I'm like sweating from this deal.
I'm thinking,
okay.
Wouldn't it be really good if we played all that with like the Benny Hill music in the background? You know, you may not know what
like
that is.
double time?
I don't think I'm not sure if I know that.
It's like
Oh, probably
It's a
we can
person
do that and then just fast forward this whole messy start. We just spent like 10 minutes trying to sort this out.
No, it's all good.
we only have 5 minutes left.
No, you're fine. Let's start off with 15 minutes starting now.
You're the best. You are the best.
So are the best.
Oh man, you wouldn't believe I just came from I was actually doing, I don't know if you guys follow me too much on social, but
I do.
This, well, awesome. Thank you, Craig. So
I will be.
Jason, you're under fire right now.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Now who screwed up?
No, I do this thing on social. I just started it kind of like in the last few months, and it was a joke, and then it turned into kind of like a thing, and basically it's take me to your party, I got tricks. And I just do these random tricks.
Your
and
tricks are freaking incredible, though.
Thank you. And
yes.
I don't realize that I could do some of these things. I'm just like, I wonder if I can. And then I do it, and I'm like, wow, okay, that has no use in life, but that's cool. Like, so.
I don't know. The one from yesterday is like that's the Tiger Woods thing with the bounce.
Oh, yeah.
Bounce.
But
I mean,
in the golf world, that's kind of basic. Like
everybody
to
does
bounce and hit it. But it was just funny because literally I was with one of my close golfing friends when I filmed that one, and she was like, can you just like do a quick thing for me? I need to do some social for this driving range. I was like, okay, cool. And she did it, and it was like one take, and I was like,
that was one take.
That's awesome.
That was cool.
That's impressive.
But anyway, my point was that I just filmed a take me to your party, I got tricks thing, and I'm literally, it was so hot. It's really hot where I'm at right now. And so I just came from like half working out, half doing this trick. And now I'm here, and now I'm flustered because I just now figured out this is a video. So now, yeah. Thanks,
It's
guys.
all good.
It's all Craig's fault.
My fault.
That guy.
Blame it on me.
It's
I can take it.
All
I'm
right.
used to it.
Now we can, I'm ready.
Well, you are on the Insurance Dudes. I can't even say it. The Insurance Dudes podcast. So thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's awesome to have you. We refer to the ladies as the Dudettes.
I like it. I noticed that on social. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. And so oh, that's right. I tagged you a bunch of times. So,
yeah.
So, it's real interesting. And I don't even know how I ended up following you. But I like golf and then, whatever you came across, it tells you who to follow, right? It's just like, okay. And so it's fascinating because you have so many Instagram followers, and then you have, if golf to a lot of people may not be the most exciting thing, you've definitely made it fun, right?
I appreciate that.
Because you got tricks, right? And I mean, even the one, like you had the one with the beer bottle where you hit it and it came back. And I couldn't even figure out what was happening. It was so
thank you.
incredible. But
appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, so you started, I mean, you've been golfing your whole life.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Since I was 3.
Since you were 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Most kids can't even eat. They can't.
Yeah, I've been, I started when I was 3. And I've been competing since 7 years old. So yeah, I've been doing it a while. I'm 26 now.
Wow. And who got you into it? Which parent?
So my dad got me into it. Firstly, he wanted a boy, and then I happened, so that was the first mistake. And then he was really, really into tennis, actually, and he was ready, telling my mom, like, I want her to be like a tennis star. I'm going to train her and all this stuff. And he just caught the golfing bug when I was around 3 years old. And then by coincidence, someone had gifted me like a plastic golf club set. And when he caught the golf bug, and if you play golf, when you catch it, you just start to love it. It's like uncontrollable sometimes. And then he caught it, and he took me to the range with him every single day. I'd hit beside him with my plastic clubs. And then finally, I got to a point where I hit a shot, and I broke my plastic club. The club head flew off my plastic club into the driving range because I'm hitting real balls with a plastic club. And it flew out there, and he was like, all right, yeah, we're going to get you some metal clubs now. And so then ever since, that's how I got into it. I have literally been swinging ever since I was 3. I never went through a stop.
Mm-hmm. Every day? You're an everyday player?
Yeah, I'm swinging a golf club. It feels like every day. If I'm not, I'm probably on a golf course covering something. I don't know. Yeah, it's everything golf.
Is your dad still playing?
He still plays for fun. And so he gets really excited because every time it's like Father's Day or Christmas or something, he's just like kind of waiting for all the golf things to give to him. I always have really cool hand-me-downs, or I'm very fortunate to have Cobra Puma be my sponsor, and so they help me out, and he loves it. So yeah, we still go out and play.
That's cool. So talk about growing up with. I mean, your dad had to be like, so he gets into golf. And then you get into golf, and then you start just killing it. So he had to be, I mean, he was in heaven, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, he was also, I guess, frustrated that I was beating him, I think, at like 7 years old. But,
that's awesome.
But yeah, he loved it. And it really was the way my dad, and actually my family, it was the way my family and I really bonded, especially my dad and I, because we got so into it. I started playing on a national level. I was living in Illinois at the time, and then I would just travel with him and I. Sometimes my mom would be able to come. Majority of the time she would come, actually. And that was like our family trips, traveling to my tournaments. And, when I performed well, it was like a really cool thing for all of us. And yeah, my dad loved it. And I think he still loves that I'm in golf. So it's a dream for him too.
That's cool.
Golf is so fascinating because there's no room for error, right? Like it's just like one stroke, it can make the whole difference, right? You win or you lose from this one stroke, and it's multiple days. And I mean, how do you deal with that kind of pressure when you're neck and neck with somebody else? It's
hard. Yeah. But I think you don't worry about that so much in the grand scheme of things. Like when you're actually in the heat of the moment, when you're really focused on your game, the person you're worrying about most is yourself.
Right.
Like if you start thinking about your competition, sometimes that's like when it gets really hard. And so if you know that if you're playing the best golf possible, you're going to be okay. You don't need to look around. And I think that alleviates a lot of pressure, just that alone. And then I think it just comes with a lot of training. Like even if I haven't competed in over a year and a half now, because I'm now more in the golf media world. But if I were to compete now, it's still just as much pressure every time. And I've been competing for so long, and I can't say that it's gotten easier. It's just I've learned to handle that pressure better. But the pressure has always been the same, if not more. So.
Right. But it's all up here, right? If you start sideways or getting negative, just
you can't.
The wheels come off.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is it hard to be in the professional world of golf being a dudette? Is it harder for a dudette?
It is. I mean, and that's kind of like the fight that we're all fighting, right? Like in every sport, women's soccer, everywhere else. And it is harder in a sense because women's golf does not make nearly enough money. I think we actually only make a fourth of the money that the men can make if we're comparing the elite level, LPGA versus PGA Tour. If we're talking mini tour level and any level before, because just like baseball, golf is the same way. There's like kind of like a minor league, a middle league, and a major league. I was like a middle league player chasing for the major leagues. And then I decided to focus more on golf media before hitting any major leagues. And it's just a grind. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of money just to even get to that point. You know, you need a lot of support to get out there. When you play as a golfer, you fund everything yourself. So think of travel, think of hotel, think of caddy, think of, you know, practice routes, think of your bag, think of your equipment, everything you have to handle yourself. If you have sponsors along the way, amazing. But a lot of sponsors don't touch you until you're major league, until you're on the LPGA tour. And now,
chicken and egg.
Yeah. And now with the power of social media, and that's how I got into social media, was because I didn't have means to help me get out there, and I needed help. I needed someone to give me some clothes, because all I had was college gear left. I needed some new clubs. I had clubs that were just very janky, like lead tape on them to even out the weight. Like, it just was really scrappy. I was a really scrappy golfer starting out the gate, and social media was my means of like, okay, maybe if I do this, someone from somewhere in the world is going to see it, and maybe it'll help me. And that was my intention starting out. And then came this whole like social media booming in the golf world. And ultimately it did help me. After a year into social media, I got actually 6 months in of just like trying to stay consistent with it. I got help with golf clubs. I got help with golf clothes and stuff like that. And then I knew that if I just keep performing well while I'm doing this, it'll just keep getting better. And so fortunately, thanks to stuff like that, women are able to showcase themselves more, because not every girl on tour is going to get airtime, right? So if you go on their social media channels or whatever they're putting themselves out on, then that's their personal TV channel. And then that's what's going to get them out there. And so that's why I encourage a lot of the girls on tour. That's why I encourage a lot of the girls on tour to do that now.
Now, why is it that why do you feel that females are getting paid a quarter of the amount? Do you think there's less viewers? Do you think there's less attention? Do you think there's less female golfers?
Yeah, well, no, there's a ton of female golfers, that's for sure. But what they say is viewership. It really comes down to entertainment. And it's something that I'm very passionate about as well, because I believe that these girls are extremely entertaining. A lot of these girls are my friends out there. And the truth of the matter is well, for me anyways, I'm biased, I guess you could say, because I'm a girl, but we haven't been given the same opportunity. We haven't been given the same chance. If there were the same amount of cameras and the same amount of attention that was on men's golf as it is on women now, especially because it's so ever changing, there's a lot of women out there that are playing, and they're beautiful and they're so talented and they have such great personality. If you put that attention on them, I bet you we'd have a lot of good viewership. But if you're only going to put 2 cameras out there on a big golf course and only capture highlights and the leaders, and you're not going to capture the personality like they do on the men's circuit, then what shot do we have? You know? So, I mean, they say it's viewership. They say it's entertainment. But, I mean, if I bet we can be more entertaining than the guys if they just gave it a shot.
100%, I think. Mm-hmm. Why not?
Yeah.
A lot of the guys are boring.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. What dude wants to watch a dude? Like, what? I don't know. Crazy. You'd think there'd be more attention.
You would think. I know. That's what I'm
Well, what you're doing is definitely bringing more attention with the dancing and all that stuff. It's so cool.
Thank you. I appreciate
you have to hear that all day long, right?
I can't say all day long. I just sat out there and was like on fire. Right? No, not all day long, but I mean, it's what I enjoy. And I think it's really cool the way golf is changing now, how you can make it fun. And the rules are kind of bending a bit, where there's difference in dress code, there's difference just in many things. The golf is loosening up, and you got to roll with the changes kind of in the world if you want to keep things living, right? And so I love golf. I have a lot of other passions too, and I just try and show people outside of golf that check out this sport. Like, it can be really cool if you just kind of give it a go. And there's a lot of young people getting into it now too, which is really cool. Like, I know a lot of college kids love it. They just love hitting the range. Now that there's places like Top Golf, that really helps. It's really cool. So yeah.
That's cool.
Take us back to when you thought, okay, I want to put this on pause over here. I want to really build this presence, a footprint on the internet, right? And we've had some guests that talk about how right now is the gold rush, and it's going to pretty soon you won't be able to get that property on the internet, right? You're not going to have to be able to really have that spot as the ocean gets red, if you will, right? So when you started putting together and developing, right? I mean, you started with zero, right? At one point you had zero. And a lot of our Dudette listeners, and especially, I mean, really anybody that's in the insurance business, we're very antiquated, right? And so a lot of people aren't using social. Like, I mean, I've talked with agents who say, I don't even have a Facebook, and I'm like what?
Why?
Like, you have to, you must, right? And so, what was it, and how was that grind like, and the time frame to take it from one, for your dad following you to 140,000 or at the place you're at?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. I'm sorry. Is my lighting like incredibly glaring right now? I can't control the sun, unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah, I get that question quite often, or I get comments like, I'll get comments on my social media where they're like, "Oh, you're just some whatever girl that's trying to be hot, who you just went from like 0 to 100." Like, that is not the case at all. Like, at all. I've been growing my social media since the very end of 2015, and I just got lucky with timing. Like, it was a time when social media started booming, like I said, in golf. And I happened to be one of the original girls who jumped on that wave. None of us knew. None of us still really know where it's going to go. Like, obviously, we don't know what's at the end, but we just worked really hard with building what we had and the timing that we had it. And so since 2015, I've been doing this. And since, I mean, it was definitely like more of a fun, it's still a fun thing, but 2016, I was still playing professionally, like, very intensely. 2017, I was still going at it. And so it probably wasn't until mid 2017 where I was like, you know what, I think something can come of this. And I think I can show more than just me golfing. Like, I think I can grow this in some way. And so what I'd say to everyone out there that's just trying to grow anything, if you want to grow attention to your insurance company, to your new brand, a new product, whatever, like, this is the way to market, your thing. And the
Frozen. I'll freeze.
You can do it however you in a day, and if that's what people are doing, then that's where you have to be. Like, no one's going to TV really anymore for news. You're going to look at your highlights on your phone. You're going to look at whatever you look at. And Instagram just so happens to be one of the easiest and fastest ways to sell product, showcase whatever. And that's why people are investing in, like, social media influencers, because they're influencers. They influence a good amount of audience, especially in a specific niche. Like, I am in the golf niche, so a lot to it. Like, I encourage everyone to just kind of go with the changes that are going on in the world. Whether, like, who's to say how long Instagram is going to be? Who's to say that maybe TikTok is going to be next? Who's to say that Twitter is going to just blow up and just eat everybody up? We don't really know, but just go with the changes if you want your thing to survive. So I very much encourage it. Yeah.
And I think be yourself, right? I mean, being yourself is really what makes you stand out.
Yeah. I mean, I try. I you saw like the real me walk in and just throw myself on just now. That's very important. And I mean, just like if you were to meet someone who wasn't being themselves, you can see it. Also, I feel like through social media when it's just kind of a facade. So why even do that? I do it. Not everyone wants to be very open with their life, right? I shared something that was very intimate with me not too long ago. And I personally like to be as relatable as possible to my followers, because I feel like that's the way that they could feel like they're my friend. Like, I don't like to feel this separation. And so when you have the relatability, it makes it better. And you have to be you to make that happen. You have to be real to make that happen.
Definitely.
So, authenticity.
Yeah.
So critical. That's how you connect.
along the way of your path, what is the best piece of advice anybody ever gave you?
Best piece of advice
That maybe kind of
like
steered you in the right direction or kind of readjusted your path, that made an impact, big impact in your life?
I think there's been so much advice that I've been given along the way. I mean, well, one of them was kind of just what you said, of being very much yourself along this process. People can get very lost in something that can be very vain, this kind of world, right? Social media, it's a scary place. Like, it can be very negative. I refuse to see the negative. I want it to be positive. And I think it's very important to always stick to your roots and the reason why you're doing what you're doing, and not get caught up in different reasons, right? So being just yourself. And I think, I'm sure you guys know who Gary Vee is. Gary Vee, he's kind of like he's a very motivational speaker, very intense. And honestly, I feel like I get a lot of the wisdom from him, like kind of like every day, actually. And I have a few close mentors that I have. And I think one of the most important things, I think, is like, people think that there's like one road to success. And it's very cheesy and cliche to say, but obviously there's not. And I truly believe that if you are working your very hardest in the moment, and you are very positive in your mindset, then nothing can stop you. And the best you could do is focus very hard in the moment. Obviously have your future in mind, but just work very hard at what you are doing in the moment, and opportunities will come. And you have to believe that. Like, well, it gets hard for me because I'm like, crap, I don't know what's going to happen with Instagram later. What am I going to do with my career and my life and this and that? Well, if I keep thinking about that, I might as well quit now. And all I know is now is that it's working right now, and I'm going to work hard and be the best at what I do now. And I know that opportunities will open up in the future. So
that's awesome.
Let's see. Consistency, right? Just staying consistent.
Yeah.
What about along the way? I know you've also had struggles, right? Like it's been challenging or frustrating. Like, how did you overcome those things? How did you keep positive when it looked like, oh, this is it, I'm screwed, right? Like, or this isn't working.
Oh man, yeah, totally. I mean, like I said, not that long ago, I shared something very intimate about myself this year in June. And essentially, I came out to my world. I had come out to my close family and friends about my sexuality, but I did not come out to this digital space. And I felt like if I never said anything in a big public way, then it wasn't real. But the thing is that's not me if I'm not being real, right? And so that was a very hard battle. Like I
froze.
said, I was doing this since 2015, right? And in 2017, 2018. And I didn't know what to do. And what was hard was that I had to pretend like everything was okay all the time. And that was really hard because at the time, I wasn't gonna share my deepest, darkest, saddest, most emotional times. You know, I just didn't want to be that person, and I couldn't figure myself out. And so through those times, it was really about having my close net of people there around me. And I was going through this really rough time because I almost felt like I didn't have a close net of people because what I just shared kind of rocked my personal world. And so, like I said, I think it's very important to have your very trustworthy and close friends. And because when crap hits the fan, that's when you really know who's going to be there for you. And that's going to be like your safe net. And when it comes their time, you'll be their safe net. And so they were the people that really got me through everything. And I cannot say I got through it by myself because I'd just be lying. And now here I am. Like, I feel like I've let everything go. I'm as me as I can possibly be. And it's like, I'm in a much happier place. You know, I couldn't even say these words to you if it was even a year ago. So yeah, things get tough, but you just got to have your really close knit of people there for you.
And how powerful to break through, right? It's something that you're like, there's no way I could, at one point, probably there's no way I could ever talk about this, especially publicly. And then did it, right? You break through that uncomfortable shell that you had, and it just moves you beyond. And now it's like, look how strong, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that was the biggest thing. I can't even tell you how scary it was, you know, just, and how it's kind of like crazy to think that hitting a send button is the most terrifying thing and most life-changing thing it feels for you. And to me, that may be one of the biggest moments that will ever happen in my life. I mean, I have still a lot of life to live, but to me, in that moment, that was the biggest moment to me. And so hitting send, I can't even tell you, like, I legit gave my passwords to my closest friends, and I'm like, don't let me look. I'm about to hop on a plane. I have no service anyways. I don't want to know. I'm not ready to hear the feedback. I'm not ready for the negativity. I just know that I'm being me, and I got to be happy. Like, I'm being me. My close friends are there for me. My family loves me. The people who matter are there for me. Let it go. And then going on it and seeing the positivity, like, literally, like, mind blowing. It was crazy. And I still receive so much. I've received so many stories, and I think that's what the coolest thing. It's like, yeah, it's groundbreaking. It's huge when you're impacting now other people's lives, and that's something that I've always wanted. I've always wanted to share my story eventually, but I never really knew how many people I could actually help. And I think that is what was so groundbreaking. That was the coolest part. Still the coolest thing when people share their story with me, and when they hear me out, they're like, wow, that gives me so much hope. Like, that's so cool that you did that. And so, yeah, really cool moment.
That is cool. It's always about it's all about everybody helping each other. And when that happens, it's like, I mean, it moves us way beyond the mundane day-to-day and the little problems that we all have. And yeah, we can all really support each other, and it makes a huge difference.
I agree completely.
Everybody's kind of freezing up. Now he froze.
Are you frozen?
Tisha, thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you.
Am I freezing?
Yeah, you're freezing. Now you. There you go. Oh, now you're back. It buffering.
Oh, you know what? I got new Wi-Fi.
That'll make it freeze. Well, you know, thank you so much. I mean, is there anything that we should have asked, or anything that you look at now? It's good.
No, we're solid. No, we're good. It's okay.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on. I know that, you know, you probably get hit all day, every day with a million people bugging you. I'm persistent too, so I just stayed on it till you responded. That's awesome. So thank you.
No, not. I mean, it's, you guys caught me at a good time. This is kind of like a good low time for me, so it's no problem at all. It's been a long.
It was the universe bringing us together.
Reaching out.
Thank you.
Yes,
all right, cool.
Completely. Of course. Yeah.
Tisha, thank you so much. And and anybody that wants to find you, can you just say your Instagram for them?
Yes. So if anyone wants to find me, you can follow me on Instagram at Tisha Alyn. That's TishaAlyn. And I also have a Twitter. It's also Tisha Alyn. I have a Snapchat. I have a TikTok. I have all the things. It's all Tisha Alyn. So that's where you can find me.
Awesome. So great. Thank you so much. And we'll see you down the road. We'll keep following you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Let me know when it comes out.
All right.
We will.
Absolutely.
All right. Later, you guys.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
55% of insurance sales producers say that they have had little or no sales training. Us agents focus on marketing to drive activity and often overlook the sales presentation. Improvements in mindset, shifting focus, rapport, needs diagnosis, value building, creating buy-in, and overcoming objections lead to drastically better closing numbers. The solution? Enroll your team in September's Sales Summit offered by Agency Vault. We will even assess your team to see which of their sales steps need the most improvement. Head to agencyvault.com to sign up before it's full.
Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.